Hi guys, welcome in and or welcome back to my channel, home of Christy T. I'm Christy T, and today I am here to finally share an update on my Cozey Ciello XL couch. So without further ado, let's get into this video. If you're watching this video, it is because you are interested in buying a cloud couch dupe, and the Ciello XL is a perfect dupe for that couch. And if you haven't already, I'd highly recommend you go and check out the very first video I shared of me unboxing my brand new Ciello XL and putting it together. That just kind of gives you a first impressions of how I felt about the couch, as well as how easy it is to assemble. So last time you guys saw me talking about this couch, it was in November of last year, 2024, and today it is officially April 2025. So it has been a minimum of 6 months of me owning this couch. And so I have some thoughts and I have some regrets. So we're gonna hop right on into that. In the very first video I shared, I talked about how one reason I didn't want the actual cloud couch from Restoration Hardware was because of how disheveled it has been able to look between laying on it, sitting on it, and normal use. Personally, I just did not like the amount of extra fluffing you were going to have to do to make sure that it stayed looking nice compared to a traditional couch. And so here's a clip of what my couch looks like on a weekly basis after it has been used, set on, laid on a regular basis. And comment down below if you feel like there's a difference. So let's talk about the first pro/con of this Ciello couch in Sunset Beige. So Sunset Beige was the color that I chose to get because I really wanted a beige/cream color couch, which I'm sure a lot of people do, which if you want that, just keep in mind the cleaning that you will have to do. So the first pro/con that I have is cleaning. When it comes to cleaning my couch, I find that it is actually extremely easy. When it comes to stains or any kind of markings that may end up on the couch, mind you, my couch has seen lots of people and lots of guests, and I have a pet, so we'll get into that secondly. But I find that just using dish soap and water to clean the cushions is always super easy. And I say that because recently I don't know how this happened, but I was eating beef stew and all of a sudden I looked over and somehow the beef stew had splattered on the ottoman section of the couch. And immediately I thought to myself, like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the stain that's not going to come out. However, dish soap, water, and a paper towel with a bit of, scrubbing on that, it came right on out. And that's something I absolutely love about this couch, is how easy it is to clean. Now, mind you, the fabric that I got is the performance fabric, so I have not sprayed any additional items on this couch to make sure that the stains don't stay. So if you're considering, I highly recommend the performance fabric because it's easy to get stains out of. From my experience, I cannot say this is for everybody, but from my experience, as you can see in these past clips, that soap and water gets the stain right on out. Pro/con number 2, which is pets. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that I have a sweet little kitty named Coco, and she tries to make her debut in every video that I share, but she absolutely loves a spot near a window that's comfy and cozy, and so she's always laying on the couch. This is a pro and a con, so if you have pets, really take this into consideration. Coco likes to obviously run throughout the house, and sometimes our floors are not the cleanest. Mind you, I have a beige couch, cats, and sometimes other pets like to jump on furniture. So that being said, anything that's on her paws usually ends up on the couch, which means that I have to clean it a lot. Now, while this is something to be worried about, I would say that I'm not necessarily worried about it because of how easy it is to clean. This tool is a lifesaver when it comes to pet hair and things on your couch. Coco is a black cat, obviously, so she constantly sheds black hair. And I noticed after a while that I saw some discoloration in my couch when I was like, where is this coming from? I know that if I just clean why it's so dark in this area. It was her fur. And even though I was lint rolling and vacuuming, it was not coming off as anticipated. So this tool here, I will be leaving it linked down below, is a lifesaver when it comes to cleaning your couch and getting all of the pet hair off. I like to use this tool first and then go back in with either a lint roller to get any just like last minute things, or the vacuum just to vacuum it up. Fluffing. So obviously, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, while this couch does not require as much fluffing as the original cloud couch from Restoration Hardware, it does in fact require fluffing. I have come down with a system for fluffing, which you'll see now in these clips that I'm showing you, and I do this about every other week, or just depending on how much use the couch has seen that week. Sometimes it's a weekly thing that I do, so at the end of each week I'll go in and I'll fluff the couch. I personally don't know that it was the best decision for me to get a couch like this if I didn't want to always have that disheveled look. If you are a type A or a perfectionist, I just guarantee you're not gonna be happy with that. So that is something to consider. It will absolutely need to be fluffed from time to time if you want to make sure it's always looking pristine and like you see it in the photos. So like I previously mentioned, I do have to do this at least once a week if I want to keep my couch looking nice and pristine. And just an FYI, that stain you see on the couch right now, that is not a stain, that is a watermark from me cleaning it prior to recording this clip for this video. Now once I finish the back cushions, I do go ahead and do all of the seat cushions, including the ottoman. I find these are a little bit more difficult to fluff just because of how big and massive they are. But these seat cushions feature a design that has a foam cushion in the center and feathers on the outside to help it keep its luxe appearance that you see in the original photos, or even once it's done being fluffed. So that is just something to keep in mind. If you do have a type A personality, this may not be the best couch for you, but this is my opinion and this is based off my experience with the couch. Washing. So I've only had to wash one of my cushions ever once because it did just seem a little bit dirtier than normal, and this was before I got the tool I just previously mentioned for Coco's cat hair. It washed really well and dried really well. I noticed there was no shrinking or anything like that. So that is something to keep in mind. It is washable for all the cushions that are on the couch. However, the actual couch frame itself is not washable. So that trick with the dish soap and water will come in handy for that, because obviously you can't just throw the frame into the washer. If there is anything for sure that's on my top regret list when it comes to this couch, it is that I did not get the ottoman with the storage. They have an option for storage ottoman that you can put blankets or toys or anything else like that in. It lifts up and you can put things inside of it. With the size of my home and the storage situation that we have, I really wish that I had gotten that ottoman just so that it can always just look nice and I can have a place to put my blankets and put all those extra things I like to keep on the couch. So if you are considering getting this cozy couch and you have a storage situation, whatever that looks like, and you're like, you know what, I may not need that blanket spot, or maybe I will, just get it. Just go ahead and get it. I think it would have been a better decision for us with our needs. So eventually, one thing I love about Cozey is that I can purchase that part separate if I want to later on down the line. However, for now I'm going to keep what we have, but that is one of those regrets that I have, wishing that we purchased the one with the storage. All right guys, so that is going to be all for today's video. I do hope that you enjoyed coming along for this 6-month review of the Cozey Ciello XL couch. If I didn't answer one of your questions that you had or you have, please feel free to comment them down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Like I said, I'm in love with my couch. I'm still in love with it to this day. There are things I do wish that I could change, but I have found tips and tricks that help me to maintain my couch and keep it looking how I want to look. So as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.